You related to the dead guy?
No, but I can identify him.
What about you? You, what, sister, wife, girlfriend?
No.
She never met him. I did.
So you knew him?
If the body you have here is the man I knew, he was William McBride, ship fitter from Belfast.
You stay here, lady. I'll take the old guy to see the remains.
Old guy?
Yeah, that'd be you. That him?
Yeah, that's William McBride, yes. That cut on his forehead.
Yeah, sure doesn't improve his looks any. Probably got it when he fell off the dock drunk after leaving the bar.
What bar?
Sonny's Bar. It's just opposite where they found his body floating.
He didn't drink.
He sure won't be drinking now.
He was a teetotaler. Are there any witnesses that he was even in the bar?
Who's gonna go looking for witnesses? If we find any, they'll have been too drunk to remember their own names.
Somebody could have followed him, knocked him down, thrown a body into the river.
Well, that's Red Hook. It's a regular sport down here. Or maybe he threw himself in. That happens a lot, as he was Irish.
Yes.
America doesn't work out for them. They're broke, far from home, don't know anybody here. They take the old splasheroo, leaving somebody to fish him out with a boat hook.
You're not going to investigate?
You know how many people end up in the river every year in New York, buddy? Or freeze to death in an alley? Or jump off a bridge? Or step in front of a train?
If he was attacked.
Well, you have any proof? Want to hire a lawyer to challenge an accidental death certificate?
I don't have the money for that.
You want to claim the body? Bury him at your own expense?
I don't have the money for that either.
Yeah, then that's that, then.
What will happen to him now?
They'll put him on a barge and take his body to Hart Island, up by the Bronx. There's 1 million people buried there who died the same kind of lonely death. They had a couple thousand more every year.
That's terrible.
Maybe there's worse things, like you not knowing where the guy you loved is, except under the waves. Now listen to me. I'm gonna give you your retainer back. Take it and buy a boat ticket home as soon as you can. Whatever we've gotten a hold of here, they may be willing to kill to keep us from finding out the rest.
Put that money back in your wallet. I want to buy another day of your time.
I want off the investigation. Don't you understand? Not just for your sake, for mine too.
Don't walk away from me. Don't you dare.
To hell with you.
I have reasons to keep going. They're in the past. To find out who's to blame, you have a future to think of. One in which you can have respect for yourself again.
I never hit a woman in my life, but I might make an exception.
You said you were a battered kind of angel, but you could be the angel of my truth. I'm going to hold you to that.
If the truth could get you killed.
That's why you need an angel on your side when you go looking.
We lost that trump card. McBride, the guy who helped build the ship. All we have is your lists of those who either took the boat or decided not to at the last minute.
What a sad sound that is. Like a ghost looking to come home.
Find me someone who can look at those lists. If they say it's coincidence, I will go home.
I'm only talking to you again for 3 reasons, Danny. 1, because I owe you a favor. 2, Miss Haya here is a very attractive young woman. And 3, in 20 minutes, I take that train on track 17 to California. New York won't see me again. I found a bigger swindle even than stocks and insurance. Financing movies. It's a whole new industry.
I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Havermeyer. Whatever you can tell us.
Could get you into real trouble. Which is a 4th reason. I want you to take me seriously. Leave this alone.
That's what I told her we should do.
Right. You know how much 1 billion of anything is?
It's a very large number.
If you started counting like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would take you 36 years to get to 1 billion. So imagine $1 billion. Imagine many billions of dollars. J.P. Morgan saved the U.S. economy a few years back by plowing his own billions into the banking system. Now, in order to prevent future financial panics, he persuaded Washington to create a super bank with the fancy name of the Federal Reserve System. Now, there are other men with immense power, money, and influence who are violently against it. They don't want one bank, effectively Morgan's bank, to have a stranglehold on the economy. They'd prefer their own hands to be around its throat. Show me your lists. John Jacob Astor led the opposition to Morgan in the bank. He drowned. Whereas Fisk and Vanderbilt, Morgan's allies, canceled their reservations.
They knew the ship was going to sink.
I'm gonna do you a favor. Hand me that matchbook. There. Gone. Up in smoke. Do you get the message? Oh. A pleasure to meet you. Miss Hare, thank you for seeing me off. Danny, I think I've paid you for everything I owe, so I won't be leaving a forwarding address.
How much of that is true?
I wish I knew. I do know. I'm getting really scared now.
Are they capable of this?
If there were billions of dollars at stake...
They'd murder over 1,000 people to silence one man.
Keep your voice down.
Would they?
I prefer not to think so. But if that's where the evidence is leading to, if that's what the story is, let's get out of here.
I didn't go to the train station to see Harold leave. I wanted to. I'll come with you, I said to him. He said no. There was a look in his eye. I wonder if he felt something. Knew something. Something that was telling him not to take that journey.
It's the 20th century. We don't believe in premonitions anymore. Don't say anything about that crazy, unscientific stuff to Edgar Swanson. It'll make him think you're a flake.
A flake?
Crazy, loopy. Like you have a screw loose, like your elevator car doesn't go all the way to the top floor.
It is sometimes so exhausting to follow what you're saying, Mr. Gunter. Who's Edgar Swanson?
The best newspaper man I know. He said bring him something big, something to stop the presses for. We got that, wouldn't you say? In spades. I'm not saying it's something I can ask you to stand behind yet, Edgar. Put your name to, let alone the newspaper. I just need to know if Emma, Miss Hare, and me keep working on it and find the truth, you won't let it be buried.
I don't appreciate being ambushed coming out of church, but keep talking.
I think in your news hound's gut, you know there's a story here, something that's gonna blow the roof off.
Keep talking.
Crime of the century. We tell the true, shocking story of the murder plot that was behind the sinking of the Titanic. This Federal Reserve System stuff, okay, it would go over most people's heads. I'm not sure I understand the financial ins and outs of it myself. But an image of this young lady next to one of her fiancé with the caption, "The man she loved paid the price of rich men's greed."
Oh, Danny.
Everybody would get that. Everybody would get we demand justice and the names of those who can no longer seek it for themselves.
Is that what you want, Miss Hare? Justice?
It might be too big a thing to get, I know that. I don't think somebody like me can change things. Not really. But I'd settle for the truth.
Are you sure about that?
Of course. I want the truth.
Maybe this is about faith, not truth. Maybe it's about you needing something to believe in.
I still believe in a God, if that's what you're getting at. My faith in his wisdom and purpose has been tested, but it's still there.
I'm not talking about religion. They told us that it was a fact, that the Titanic couldn't sink. It even had a telegraph office on board. When it went under, it shook us to our core. The facts that 20th century man believed will save him, they didn't hold up that night. Maybe you don't want justice or truth. You want a belief to live by, a faith in the modern world to replace the one you lost.
I'm not sure a gentleman should talk like that to a young lady in this situation.
I'm a newspaper man, not a gentleman. She can't accept his death was an accident because that would mean the universe was just happenstance and chance. So she wants to find somebody to blame, a narrative that might be true or might not. She doesn't really care as long as she has some purpose in her life. She just waits for him to come home while knowing he never will. She'll go nuts because her head can't handle it. So she comes here to New York to take the facts that exist. And she's going to find different facts, alternate facts, because the pain is too much, and this keeps her busy. which is an antidote for pain.
Jeez, Edgar.
Can you leave us for a moment, Mr. Gunter?
What?
I'd like to speak to your friend alone.
He's not my friend. I used to be his boss before he drank his career away, and now I'm somebody he's desperate to get a handout from.
The hell with you.
The hell with you, bringing me a story I can't persuade anybody to print, even if you could prove it.
Please, Mr. Gunter. Daniel. Danny, please leave us alone.
Why?
You're working for me.
He's doing what?
$5 a day, remember?
Is he taking money from you?
It's not like that.
You know the word for a man who takes money from a woman?
Boy, just take that back.
Enough, please, please, both of you. Danny, go. I need a few moments. That's all.
There's no guarantee I won't come back and punch him in the nose.
I know, Mr. Swanson. I know.
What is it you know, Miss Hager? Or think you know? Some more loose facts you twisted into another strand of some vast, preposterous conspiracy?
I know you lost someone on that ship. I know because you did what I did. Waited for someone to come home, while knowing they were never going to come home. You felt like me, that you would go mad holding both things in your head at the same time.
Come inside the church. "5 years ago, I met somebody. We got married. Her family was still in Germany. Her grandmother was dying. She was very close to her when she was younger. I couldn't take time off from work. She went with our 2 children in January this year. No. Come April, they could have traveled back on a German ship, but the Hamburg America line was booked solid, and who wouldn't want to travel on the safest ship ever built on its maiden voyage? Nothing could go wrong, but if it did, there was a Marconi machine on board. It could summon help. It's the modern age. We rule the oceans, command nature itself.
Were they...
I spoke to somebody who said she'd seen a woman with 2 young children reading a book to them to calm them. The ship went down shortly after. And all the advanced technology in the world, a way to be in communication with someone who could have rescued them, none of it helped.
I think you're trying to tell me something. Something you're not sure that you should. Something you've tried to suppress.
Like what?
I think someone came to you with information about the telegrams sent from the ship that night. Information that you have, but have done nothing about. That's why, despite yourself, you can't help hinting at it. Because you want to do the right thing. But you're afraid of what will happen if you do.